Hey guys, this video is going to cover how to do box and whisker plots. Remember, our I can statement for pre-algebra was I can display a set of data using a box and whisker plot. So I'm going to be working through our assignment. It's going to be called the purple worksheet, but it's called sports plots. So just make sure that's the worksheet you're working on. I'm actually on the next page because we did numbers 1 and 2 together in class, but we are going to use some of the data with it. So without further ado, let's begin. Now, something that really messes me up, and it only works for my brain, if it doesn't work for you, don't use it, but if it works for you, awesome, is I get messed up when I have a set of numbers, which we're going to write up here in a second, and I forget which ones I'm marking median, lower, and upper quartile, okay? So remember, we're going to have all of those things covered, which are going to be right here, okay? So let's go ahead and from the next sheet, remember we were going to fill out a box and whisker plot, but we're going to be using the players you listed in question 1, but what we're going to use instead is their heights. So I've actually already put those in order for you. You don't have to worry about it, so if you just follow along with me, you're going to get those heights correctly. Okay? So we're going to have 72, 72, 77, 78, 79, 79, 79, 80. Sorry guys, I'm just making sure I'm getting them all. Remember, you have to list the number as many times as it shows up. Otherwise we won't get an accurate reading for our box and whisker. So make sure that you are writing a number every time you see it. And I'm going to double check that I got the right number here and we'll move on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15. We should have 15 numbers. So we're good to go. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we're going to just put our medium and our maximum. I don't even assign those a number because, or color, geez Louise, a color. Because they're just telling us whatever our beginning one is our minimum, so it's going to be 72, and whatever our ending one is our maximum, which is going to be 90. Okay? From there, we're going to definitely go to the median, because before we can find the lower quartile and the upper quartile, we need to know the median first. So how I'm going to find the median is I'm just going to start crossing out sides until I get to the middle. So this should be review for that one. So I'm going to use purple for this one to show that it's my median. I'm going to cross out until I get to the middle. So I'm going back and forth. And it luckily works out. Usually math doesn't, but it luckily works out and it gives me a median that I don't have to find the middle of. It's just plain as day there. Okay? So we know that our median is going to be 80. So now the easy part's over. The next thing we're going to do, this is still easy to find, but our lower quartile, we're going to go from our minimum and we're going to go only to our median. So we're not going to go past it, but we're going to take the range here and figure out our lower quartile. So what I would do, I'm going to change colors if that helps you do it, is I'm going to start just like we did with our median, but I'm going to just do it in this range of numbers. So I'm going to mark off here. And this one isn't as clean, but it's pretty easy to figure out. The middle between 78 and 79 would be 78.5. Okay, so that's going to be our Laurel. I can't say that. I'm going to say Laurel. That's a town that's near my hometown, if you're wondering. That's why I keep saying it. Lower quartile, okay? And that's going to be 78.5 because our lower quartile is between our minimum and our median. Okay? Got that one done. Now our next one's going to be our upper quartile. And we're going to do the same thing, but it's going to be on the other side. Okay? So we're going to start with our median and go all the way to our maximum just to see what that upper quartile is. So this one was nice and clean actually, so thankfully. Okay, so we have all of those numbers. Now what do we do with them? Well, we're going to use this to make our box and whisker plot. Okay? I'm going to switch back to black here. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, what scale do I need to use so I can cover numbers 72 all the way to 90? I think for this one I'm just going to count up by ones. It's okay if you do. I think I can make it good. So we want to just make sure, not break my pudding here, that it's equal distance. So I'm going to do my best here. So I'm going to start at 72, and I'm going to just go up by ones. And I actually added one. I'm going to go to 91 because my spacing was a little bit off. But you want to make sure that, if you can, we're all human, so it's not always going to be perfect. But if you can, make your scale as close together or as equal spacing as you can. Okay, so this is the fun part, I think. So we're going to just put some dots above what our minimum, lower quartile, median, upper quartile, and maximum are. So I'm going to put one for 72. Going to go to 78.5, put a dot, find my median at 80, find my upper quartile at 81, and I'm going to do my maximum at 90, way down here. Okay? So how I kind of make this all fit together is I'm going to draw some lines here, and I'm going to make this into my box. Hint the box and whisker plot. So this is the box, and then I'm going to put some whiskers on this thing, and I'm finished. Okay, so for the next one, I'll move this up here. For the next one, it's going to ask us to leave out poor Yao Ming, which is my favorite VA player. Okay, so poor Yao Ming has to be left off. So he was our 90, I believe. So, it looks like we're going to go back, we're going to continue with heights, okay? And I'm going to just write it so we don't have Yao Ming, so we're going to leave off at 90. So I'm going to write it back up here again. So we have 72, 72, 77, 78, 79, and we're going to leave off 90, remember. Okay, so we're doing the exact same things, the exact same process. I'm going to switch my colors here. Let's fill out our minimum. So our minimum is going to stay the same, it's going to say 72, but our maximum is going to change because we dropped off that 90. So we're going to put 90 here, and then I'm going to change my colors to do our median. So I'm going to start from this side, go back and forth. Same kind of thing, remember we're going to go in the middle, so we're going to get 79.5. So I'm going to come down here and do 79.5. Okay. Another thing I would also recommend is if you can, write all your numbers in a straight line where you don't have to stack them. It's going to be a lot easier. Trust me on this, okay? Let's do lower quartile, okay? So remember, we're just using these numbers, this range of numbers. Okay, so I'm going to do, I'm going to get 78 for that one. Same thing with my upper quartile. So I'm going to be here, I'm going to mark, and I'm going to get 81. Those ones worked out perfectly, usually they don't. Now for my scale, I'm going to do the exact same thing, okay? I'm going to start at 74, and I'm going to count up and try to evenly space it. Now for this one, I really only have to go up to 84. So I might have messed up on this. I'm going to space it out a little bit more. Because we have some room. If I can remember how to count by ones. The more spaced out it is, the easier it's going to be for you to read. And we're going to go above our maximum here, but that's okay. So I'm going to stop at 87. I just won't use that, and I'll just stop at 84. Okay, so we're going to fill in up here. So we have, oops. This one should have been 72. Let's try that scale again. Maybe that's why it was working out so well. Oh well, you guys see that I'm human. It's good. Okay, so now that we got our scale correct, let's try this again. So 72, I'm going to put a dot. 78, I'm going to go down to, and I'm going to put a dot. 79.5, I'm going to put a dot. 81, I'm going to put a dot. And 90, I'm going to put a dot. That's where I messed up. It should be 84. 84, I'm going to put a dot. I'm going to draw my lines. Okay, make that into my box, add my whiskers. Okay, and then I'm going to answer the questions below. So it's going to ask me a few to do. So we're going to compare the plots from questions 3 and 4. We're going to figure out if the minimum and maximum changed, did the median change, and did the upper and lower quartile change. And you're just going to use some reasoning. Okay. I don't want you to do this next page, the one with the snowboards. Don't do it, skip it, okay? And let's go ahead and kind of work through number 2, and number 3 will be for you to do independently. Okay, let me erase this real quick. So this is my favorite part of the worksheet because you don't have to draw anything, you're just kind of analyzing what's going on here, okay? So what is the cost at the upper quartile? So what we're looking at is just like we did with ours, so these would be like our dots here that we were graphing, okay? And this would be my max, this would be my minimum, this would be my lower quartile, median, and my upper quartile. Okay, so if you want to label those, if that helps you, that would be helpful. Okay, so which cost is the upper quartile? So I'm going to follow my upper quartile, and it's going to be at 26 here. Okay, this is where my dot's sitting, so I know that I'm doing cost in dollars, so it's going to be $26. Okay, what is the range? Let me make sure I'm showing you guys the right thing here. What is the range of the cost of the CDs? Okay, so where does it go from here? So the range would be here to here. We're using our whole thing. So how many would that be? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. She got 27, not sure on that one, put a star by it. Let's ask in class. Okay, well, so we know the median is going to be 20. And we know which cost represents the 100th percentile. If you remember, your max is going to be your 100th percentile. So what cost that's going to do is going to be 29. So see how the max comes up to 29. How many CDs cost between $14.50 and $26? So if we're going to do $14.50, we're going to start at the lower quartile, and it's going to go to 26. So what this would be 50% of the CDs. Remember, because our minimum takes up 25%, and our maximum takes up 25%. Okay, so it's going to definitely be 50% of the CDs. And how many CDs cost less than $14.50? Okay, so less than $14.50, we're looking at that 25 percentile. All right, the next one's the same way. I would definitely think about labeling just like I did here. I'll have to double check on this one. I'm not really sure where she got 27. You guys can figure it out and let me know. That'd be great. Sorry about a couple mess ups on this one, but that's okay. We're all human, we all make mistakes. If you have any other questions, let me know.